Welcome back to another video. In this video we will be going over the space that this YouTube channel is created and worked in out of. So let's start with this door here. Why is the door there? Well, it couldn't be on the hinges anymore because it swung out and we needed the room for the N scale benchwork. So we just went ahead, did that. I am still able to crawl out of there, or in and out of there, through that space in the back, and yeah, that's why there's a random door there. This door is used to support the 3D printer filament rack. So this holds all of the 3D printing filament that I'm using at the time for whatever projects. This goes down here to this 3D printer. This is my only 3D printer now. I did sell my original Ender 3. I believe the people from TikTok will remember that one. Ironically enough, I'm using one of these two smaller spools right now, and so it's not actually connected up there at the moment. But yeah, so filament rack, printer. Beneath the printer we have the NAS, the 16, now technically 17 terabyte NAS, that is holding all the videos and stuff from the YouTube channel, as well as a bunch of my personal data and other stuff. It is a 10 terabyte RAID Z1 hard drive pool. That's my main pool with an SSD metadata drive. And then we also have a 1 terabyte 6 SSD RAID Z1. That is my editing drive. It is designed for speed so that I have that speed when I upgrade to 10 gig, which should be happening in January probably. And then the other 6 terabytes is what I have been able to cobble together for a backup drive. We also have another computer that has another 6 terabyte hard drive in it for a second copy of my data. So we have a copy on the 10 terabyte, a copy on this 6 terabyte pool, and then a copy on the other system with a 6 terabyte drive in it. Beneath that is a mini fridge. Shockingly, there has been no instability with the NAS or the printer or anything like that being on top of a mini fridge, so hunky-dory there. Moving over here, this is my server machine here. This hosts game servers as well as some backup stuff for some of my other computers. So it'll like take files from one folder and move it over to another folder. And then it also hosts my Plex server. That way I am able to access my photos and videos from the NAS whenever I want. Yes, I know you can do that from TrueNAS directly, I just haven't gotten around to actually doing that yet. And then if I want to change the input from the server machine to the NAS, all I have to do is press that button there. This mouse and keyboard can talk between the two systems via this box here. If I press this button, it will swap the input to another computer. So that one is going to the NAS, and this one is going to the server. Moving on over here, we have two things here. Have a TV. This is connected to either my computer or a Chromecast. I have one on each input, so that really depends on what I want. This router here is currently in bridge mode, and it talks to the main router for the house on the opposite end because we do not have Ethernet going through the house. So this is my main connection to the internet for my own side of the network. Here we have the shells for models that are not actively in travel boxes, as well as we have here my storage boxes for the rest of it as well. Like, for example, this is Amfleet 1's open hoppers, LF. I'm trying to remember what that is. I cannot quite remember. I believe that's long freight, so I have my like auto box car, my auto racks, my long box cars, stuff like that. And then RF, I cannot seem to quite remember either. I want to say this is stuff like gondolas and flat cars and stuff. I think RF is for regular freight, but I cannot quite remember. This has all of my tank cars inside of it. I also have some stuff here. This SSD is going into one of these computers. Sorry about the sideways video here. This computer is going off to a friend. This computer doesn't have a purpose yet, and this one is going to get turned into a mini workstation either for when I need to go somewhere and edit or something like that, you know, or just need a desktop that I can easily grab and bring somewhere. This is what that is. It's also kind of a backup server in a way, so if my main server machine dies for whatever reason, I can use this. This machine is set up very basically, but I'm going to throw in a 4-core 8-threaded Xeon and 16 gigs of ECC DDR3 because I already have that RAM. And we all know how bad RAM is right now, am I right? Here is my projector. This is one of those cheap ones. I need to fix the alignment on it because I had accidentally bumped it while trying to do something. This is one of those cheap TikTok printers that I got a while ago when they were going for like 35 bucks. It's okay. It's a projector. Some floppy disk stuff, tissue box. This is a new, or it's not new, but it's new to me. It's an MP15 Combine powered car, which is what I needed before I got more trailers. So this is MP54 number 7. Still needs a decoder. We will get around to that. This is a Dale Earnhardt box car that I gave metal wheels and knuckle clippers to. That just sits in that box. This is an unbuilt Amherst car that I really need to get around to building at some point so that I can throw it into my fleet. And then we can see there's some candy here and other stuff. I would like to say that I also spend a lot of time in this space, and I do a lot of projects, and this space is not going to be clean. So, just so that you're aware of that. Here we have... Oh no, that fell over. It's fine. This is an old Bachmann tender. This is that back half of a RF-16 that might get turned into a BB-20 at some point. We'll see. This is my DCC testing shelf. Some of you from TikTok may remember this as my ON30 switching layout, because that's what it was originally designed for, but this stuff was just kind of too big. So now it is my DCC testing layout. And if we come over here, all I have to do is plug in the wire for my power cab here, and then this test track turns on. I will use this for programming in JMRI. And then if I flip this switch here, you see that flickered. Hold on, let's see here. Is that consisted? No, it shouldn't be. Alright, 1 second. Here we go. There we go. This is a BLI demo AC6000. There we go. And then all I have to do is unplug that, and then it's all off. This is a phone mount. I will use this to bring the video up here to record a YouTube video. We have here my display thing for NASCAR diecast. This display thing was given to me and I needed to put it somewhere, so it ended up here. This is signed by Jack Roush. That's a Daytona 500 win, I believe. Got some other interesting stuff here. We have the MTA Gen 5 stock cars. That's interesting. And, yeah. This here was originally used to hold tools and stuff, but it has just kind of turned into the whatever you want type thing. It got keycaps there, got a bunch of random stuff. Here we have my racing wheel, as well as my pedals are on the floor. So this will get loosened and then put right here in front. This will go right here along there in the corner. And we also have a controller hooked up here in the event that I need that for something. I should really upgrade it from that to something else. But we'll see whenever that happens. HyperX Cloud 2s via USB dongle. I do have USB ports here that can each individually be turned on and off in the event that I need it. This monitor here is a 2.5K monitor. This is what I will use for looking at and editing images if I need to for all of my cameras. This is a 1440p ultra-wide monitor. This is what I use for video editing. This is IPS. I want to say that this one is TN. Still looks great though at 2.5K. IPS 1440p, and then IPS 1080p 120 hertz. This one is 115, that one's just 60. So yeah, I got the webcam up there. I have a mic on a boom here. It's a cheap mic, but it's fairly clear. There we go, that's what I'm looking for. And then down here, so I have two options for like Discord calls and stuff. I can either use the HyperX if I want to be wireless, or I can go with this mic and my wired Super Luxes if I want to. They both have a pretty interesting sound profile. There's, if you want clear, flat sound, so like not, how do I want to word it? Everything is there, you know, you got your lows, your mids, your highs, your bass, all that is, you know, fairly even in itself. Nothing's going in and out. These, you know, sound relatively the same. I think the bass and mids are a little higher on these. I can't quite remember. But yeah, so I have the option between this mic and the Super Luxes or my HyperX. Mouse, I absolutely adore this mouse, and if this mouse ever dies on me, I'm either going on eBay and finding another one, or I'm finding another mouse like this with programmable keys. I use these for game commands, right? So instead of, for Minecraft for example, instead of typing /timeset0 or whatever, I just press that button and it does it all for me. Not only do I have, what is this, 12? 3, 6, 12. Not only do I have these 12 here, I also love how big the mouse is and how I can grip it. If I press this third click here, it acts as a shift button and then I get 12 more. So I have 24 programmable buttons on this thing, and I can also use these buttons for like video editing shortcuts as well. Love this mouse, love how it feels in my hand, love the fact that I have access to all of these, and then these, you know, I love this mouse. Keyboard. Right now, for the moment, I am using an IBM PS2 membrane keyboard, simply just because I like the feel of it, you know? It's you know, it's not the best as far as, like, the keyboard sound goes, but I felt like switching it up. I didn't want to keep using my knockoff Cherry MX Brown keyboard at the moment, and I wanted something different, and I love the way this feels. So IBM keyboard. At some point, I want to use a Model M, like legitimately. And then down here we do have the main computer. Ryzen 7 3800X, 64 gigs of DDR4, GTX 3080 Ti for the main GPU, and then a GTX 1080 Ti as well. Sorry, 1080, not Ti, just a 1080. The reason the 1080 is in here is for two things. Number one, so that it can encode video recordings, as well as so that this GPU is doing it instead of my main one, so that it frees up the CPU and my main GPU. So not only is that handling video encoding if I'm recording something on the computer, I also need it for my DVI-D 2.5K monitor, because the 3080 Ti does not have one, and I cannot get a HDMI or DisplayPort DVI-D adapter because they only support up to 2K, and my monitor is 2.5K. I've gotten close with one adapter, but there was green pixel artifacting that just was not going to work for me, so 1080 Ti is in here for two purposes. Then there's a couple of SSDs in here. There's a 2 terabyte and a 3 terabyte hard drive in here, you know, stuff like that. And then RGB or ARGB computer fans. I absolutely adore this computer. I love this thing. And now we are down here. So this may look familiar to some of you. For those who don't know what happened, I will explain it shortly. But number one, I have joined a train club. You know, there's been a lot of videos about that on my YouTube channel. And because of that, I was using the layout here at home under the N-scale benchwork significantly less. I will not be showing the N-scale benchwork in this video because number one, I'm going to be honest, there has not been a whole lot of progress on it. And number two, there's a bunch of stuff just thrown on there that I need to find places to put. So, yeah. It is how it is. So I'm not going to show that in this video, but I will show the underside. So basically, storage, essentially. I needed more storage. And having storage down here should help with the stuff that's up on top as well. So yeah, I need more storage, and so here we are. It's a little messy over here right now. I have some stuff put on top of other stuff that's not typically like that because I needed to get some stuff that was in here out. So that'll get fixed up here soon. But just for an example of some of the stuff that is down here, this is my second camera bag for my 1D and long lenses. This is my travel tote for my model train stuff. This is a flight stick. This is my sister's old keyboard that I had stored somewhere else that can no longer be stored there. So it had to go somewhere, so it ended up here. This is my main Windows XP rig, although this might get turned into a Windows 98 computer, so I can turn a different computer into Windows XP. We'll see. I just have a floppy disk in there to keep the heads on the disk and not exposed to air. I got this new old stock that I found in Goodwill. I was so happy about that. But yeah, you can find videos of me assembling this computer. For those of you who have been wondering, no, I never got Windows XP on it or anything like that, because it never posted. And I never went through the process of actively trying to troubleshoot that. Hopefully we'll get to this at some point. I just need to figure out a proper space to set up like a Windows XP setup, or just like a retro computer setup, because I don't really have that. I made that video series building it a year ago in the hopes that I could figure that out, and I just haven't been able to yet. So it has just been, it was sitting somewhere for a while, and now it's down here. Really hoping to get to that at some point. That one has my T5i in it, along with 2 other lenses. This is the camera bag that I will hand people to loan for the day if they want to shoot, pictures, right? That bag there has my powerful LED lights inside of it, as well as my Minolta lenses. That is a broken rail driver back there, and then those are all wires that are coming down from the DCC shelf. We have, here right now, we have 20 amps of NCE. Is it 20 amps? Or is it 5 amps? No, it's 20 amps, because this here is a 5 amp booster and command station. Up here is a 5 amp booster, and then here is a dual 10 amp booster. And they all function, but they're not hooked up to anything right now, because it is all over yonder. Hooray! Oh my god. This is an 8 amp Digitrax booster and command station. This powers the N-scale layout once that is going again. We have power supplies up there, not all of them are up there. And then we also have a PC fan here that's just blowing across the power supplies to get some air moving over them. So you can see we have some stuff unplugged right now because there's no reason to have it plugged in. It's a mess of wires down here right now. This box here, this tray, has some stuff that's going to get sold at the next Timonium show, and some stuff that already has stuff spoken for other people. These boxes back here is all my older rolling stock. These boxes here, we can see we have long distance cars plus mail, IML, intermodal, and then Amtrak 2 plus random passenger cars. This box is just full of junk that I took to stuff that was for sale, I think, at train shows. I need to go through that box. This is just a box of bubble wrap that I will use as protection for like cars that are in here. We have my laptop bag here with my Asus 4th gen i5 in it, I think. And then this is my travel tote bag that I currently have a lot of my commuter rail stuff inside of. And then if we move over here, we see sadness and neglect. I had moved the layout over. It looks like I haphazardly tossed it all here, but I did gently put it all down. None of it has moved since then. It's all fine. The roof was already coming off of. I made that at summer camp. Yeah, if you want to see old videos of the layout, go to my TikTok. Link tree in my bio. And yeah, so it's all just pretty much stayed the same and unaltered. I know it's kind of sad to see for some of you, since this is what, brought on a lot of my subscribers, but I'll get around to this eventually. At some point I want to set up probably 2 loops with maybe 2 switching spurs or something. So that I can speed match here and I can continue the live streams at some point. But we'll see if that actually ever happens. Got other stuff going on. Hoping to get around to it at some point, but we'll see. So, I want to say that's pretty much it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry to leave it off here. But I ran out of stuff to show in the room, so yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed. We will see you in the next one. Have a good one, guys. Also, I believe this is the last video I'm doing for the 25 days of Vidmas, 25 videos of Christmas or whatever. I genuinely hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm not sure if this one was better or worse than the last one. I did have a lot of stuff prepared for it. There was a lot of videos for the Milepost 142 trip, and then there was a lot of videos with that Amfleet rebuild. I kind of feel somewhat bad for splitting that Amfleet rebuild project up into 4 videos, but I tackled it at 4 different times. But I probably should have just put them all together and then made some more videos, but it is how it is. It is what it is. I might try to do something again like this in October, because I know that's when a lot of creator YouTubers are going to be doing, a one video a day type thing, so I might join them in that. And then once again, next year, I plan on doing another 25 days of videos for Christmas. So, yeah, let me know what you think. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, I will try to answer them. And yeah, once again, have a good one, guys.